Quest 2 charging docks. We've seen a lot of them, some of them good, some of them bad, some of them kind of in between. We have this one from BINBOK here, which first thing I gotta say, it gets me excited because it says US plug, EU plug, AK plug, AU. That makes me think there's gonna be a power brick in this one. Let's find out. $59 on Amazon right now is what this is gonna set you back. It looks real similar to the Smart Tree design. If you remember that one, I don't know what born to game means, but it says it on everything here. It looks similar in that your controllers lay sideways on it, like the Smart Tree one did, but it's got some new magnetic LED something in the center here that's supposed to make it look cooler and hopefully work better. So there's the dock. This actually feels pretty close to an Anker dock. It feels like they weighted this thing down to make it feel a bit more premium. Oh my goodness, could it be? It's not even a power brick, it's got an actual power cable. Like this thing doesn't unplug with the USB, it's an actual power cable. How surprising, 5 volt, 3 amp. Wow, that slightly impresses me. We got your batteries for your controllers, because this does, as you can pretty easily see here, this will charge your controllers as well. Left and right contact points on the battery doors. Install and align as illustrated. 3 L's in the word illustrated. Capital L, lowercase l, illustrated. They hide your magnetic charger conveniently inside the center of the little box. I like that. We got 2 batteries, which we can't learn much about because they're all covered in plastic. So when it's charging, we're gonna have a blinking red light. When it's, blinking maybe? When it's fully charged, we're gonna have a blue light. The cord is not super long. It feels like it's probably about a 5-foot cord. It's not short, but some of them lately have been sending us such long cords. I love it. All right, lit up red for a second, went to blue, probably because it doesn't detect anything on there. We'll use their actual batteries, even though these batteries I have in here are exactly the same, but for testing purposes. Battery door sits pretty flush. It's pretty close to the stock one. You can kind of feel around some of the edges. It's not perfectly manufactured. It's not exact, but it's not bad. All right, so the little 3 blue lights right there have turned to red. I'm hoping as those go up, they'll kind of show us where the power level's at. What I'll try, because this one I believe is already fully charged that I have here from another dock, I'll try leaving this on, seeing if we can get a different readout. I like that I can just drop it though. That is great. I drop it, it lands in there, it's good. These 3 little lights seem kind of deceptive. I wonder if it's just one light in there that switches to blue when they're fully charged, but it makes me think that it's gonna like show it's this much full, and it's this much full, and it's this much full. Of course, like many of these docks, this is not gonna help those of us with batteries because they didn't add an extra port back here to run to the battery, which is surprising because more docks have been doing that, but whatever. We got the magnetic adapter in. You do have to be a little intentional. You almost want to like hook it there first and then kind of set it down, but it seems to lock in place pretty easily after that. This plastic piece here is not tall enough to interact with the power button. You know that I hate that on other docks when you're constantly tapping your power button by doing that. You grab it and it pulls right away. It doesn't cause you any problems. Yeah, I'd say you'd get pretty used to putting that on. Honestly, the dock when I'd use it, it'd probably be facing me. So if you put it on, you kind of slide it all the way back to where this nose piece grabs onto your facial interface. It does a pretty good job of locking on every time. I've got to say, so far I am decently impressed, especially at the price point. It's a lot less than a lot of docks out there, but it's gonna limit you in a couple ways. 1, if you have a battery strap, it's not really gonna do you any good because you can't charge your battery strap here. 2, if you love grips, like the Kiwi ones, there's not really a way you're gonna be able to use this. Although there are some grips at least that only connect to here and to right here. You could still theoretically use those hand straps. You can just move the strap out of the way. And the drop-in's pretty good. I mean, if you like turn it sideways or something like that, obviously why would you do that? But if you do that, it's not gonna go down. But if you just drop it pretty much the way it goes, it locks into place. I really like that. Over voltage protection, over current protection, short circuit protection, and overcharge protection. Obviously, this is their guide telling you that. That may not be verified by anybody but them, but they do mention it's there. There's a button. Aha! So it basically has a night mode. It's still charging, but if you don't want all that light being broadcast from there, you just press that button once and it turns off the light to that. So that's kind of a nifty feature, although the lights here are still on. They're very dim. I don't think they're gonna mess up your sleep, but just so you know that. Well, I'm gonna let this sit here for a while and come back at you once everything's fully charged. We're gonna see if these do start to light up separately or if it's just one light in there that switches it over. See what this looks like on blue once it's all charged up. So we'll hit you back here in a few. After about a week of testing and one haircut later, we have figured out about everything there is about this dock. I gotta say, overall, it does its job well. I actually really like this dock. The only things, like I mentioned before, yeah, you're not really gonna be able to use too many sets of grips with these. You'd have to find ones that connect here and connect here, but you can move off to the side when you put it down. These lights don't bump up at all. As you can see, I just took it off and now it's showing them all red. I think it's just one light in there. They kind of have this little scale so it looks cool, but it's gonna be red until it's charged and then it's gonna be blue once it's charged. It's a great dock for those of you who use a strap that's not a battery strap, but if you have a battery strap, you are probably gonna wanna look elsewhere because otherwise you're gonna be unplugging this and then plugging your battery somewhere else every time. So it kind of defeats that purpose. But if you're someone who uses the Quest 2 just with a M2 Plus strap or like a Kiwi Elite strap with no battery, then it's gonna be a great dock that's always gonna have you fully charged and ready to go the minute you take it off. I really like that about it. It does say it has that overcharge protection, overcurrent, all those things. Keeps the green light on at all times. I do wonder if it is keeping it all the way at 100% constantly. Technically that green light comes on, I think it's 95%, so it could be a little lower, but that is a concern of mine that it may be juicing your headset all the time, which could shorten the battery life a little bit. It's not gonna be too dangerous for it, but for those of you who are really trying to preserve that battery life, it's something to think about there. I tried to verify it by checking the percentage repeatedly, but it seemed like it was always fully charged is why I bring up that concern. And it's not a bad price for what it is. So I've got to say, they did a pretty good job here. There's a few features I mentioned I would like to see if they make a future dock or other people who are looking at this thinking about making docks. But for the most part, you'll be constantly juiced, constantly ready to go, and you'll never have to think about batteries ever again. So what do you think? I know not everyone out there cares about the idea of a dock. Some people don't like that it leaves it out in the room somewhere where someone can knock it down or get to it. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments, but I want to say thank you for coming out and being here with us, and I will see you in another reality.